We know that a breastfeeding parent is more likely to feed their baby for longer if they have good support from those around them. If you're a dad or a partner, you might think there's not much you can do if you're not the one feeding the baby. But there's actually a lot you can do. It all starts with a positive attitude.
Responsive breastfeeding works for us as a family. It's just the norm for us, and it became the norm very quickly. From the very beginning of the pregnancy, Kerry made it clear that she wanted to breastfeed. She sent me links to educate myself on it, which I did, and when you look into it, it's really a no-brainer. You can't get better. When I support Kerry to be able to breastfeed, that gives me a lot of pride as well, because I'm doing everything I possibly can to give our babies the best possible start.
You can support your partner in different ways, such as doing practical things at home and taking care of older children while baby's feeding.
I will cook, I'll clean. I can do a good spaghetti bolognese, like everybody. When my wife is feeding our second child, Rose, it's always a great opportunity for me and Olive to bond. We go out for walks, take the dog for a walk, or we'll just play dolls or things like that. There's always games to play.
Breastfeeding is natural, but it can also be challenging, especially in the beginning. Giving your partner emotional support is an important part of the role you can play. You can do this by listening to what your partner wants and needs, offering reassurance and encouragement, and helping them to find support or advice if they need it.
When I see Kerry breastfeeding our baby, I'm filled with pride, because I know it's not easy all the time. Just understanding what it entails to breastfeed, it's just made it easier in the long run. We know what's coming and what challenges there may be. We've always helped each other out in that sense. We just talk over it, constantly talking over it, because the baby adapts and gets bigger, and then there's other challenges. Kerry's appreciated the support because she's done it for so long.
Some dads and partners worry that they won't be able to bond with their baby if they're not feeding them, but we know this isn't true. Babies love cuddles, so the best way to connect with your baby is to hold them, especially skin to skin, because this produces the hormone oxytocin, which helps loving bonds to be formed. There are other ways to bond too.
So you don't need to be the one feeding the baby to bond with the baby. There's so much you can do. You know, they don't just breastfeed all day. They need to have baths, and they need to play, and they need to talk. With Rose, I'm talking to her constantly when you're changing a nappy, or a chilled moment, we put on music and we start dancing around, and there's always opportunities to bond. She looks for me if I'm not in the room. She smiles when I enter the room. I can be the one person if Kerry's not around to calm her down. So you don't do that if you're not bonding with your baby.
It won't be long before you'll be helping to feed your baby solid food. But don't underestimate how important you are in those early days of supporting your partner to breastfeed. It's really helpful if you know about how breastfeeding works and how to get it off to a good start. So we encourage you, as well as your partner, to watch the films about responsive breastfeeding in Baby Buddy.
There's so much out there. If you've got any questions about breastfeeding and you've got any concerns, there's so much you can do to educate yourself. In my experience with educating myself and supporting my partner, I found that it's made our whole family dynamic stronger.